what befell my dog. She called off the dogs and watched the hairy man disappear into the pine trees with its prize. He explained the hairy man to her was what we call Bigfoot or Sasquatch. She only told this story once to an elder, and she won't speak of it anymore. But he mentions they come down from the north in winter. Hearing the sheepherder's story, putting two and two together, my sons, the half-breed, and I pretty much decided that we have a rogue Bigfoot living somewhere near the property. I don't mind that so much, and we don't mind sharing some of the fruit off our trees with him, but stealing a man's stock is another thing. I don't expect that. I expect to put up with that. After reading up on your website, my boys and I, along with the other dogs, packed a rifle in the scabbard and rode out recently on a morning during Thanksgiving weekend and covered the whole western stretch of the property line, looking for a sign. You would laugh. We looked like a posse in B Western. We worked the edge of the tree line for about 2 hours looking for a trail. We found one that led into a deep forest, a section none of us had ridden before. We worked the horses through there and in and around thick brush. Soon we came to a stream and stopped to gather our bearings and water the horses. Dismounting, I thought I heard someone cough. I asked, and nobody heard it but me. My horse jerked up, snorted, and became uneasy. Sensing something none of us could see, the others mount followed. All of us were focusing on keeping the horses under control as they danced about, bucking, kicking, and snorting. My sons thought mountain lion. I wasn't sure. We stood together there by the stream, listening, calming the horses, when the dogs started looking towards the thicket of tangled bushes. Then the barking started in earnest, and they took off. Still, we couldn't see anything, but by now we were all expected the dogs to tree a mountain lion. We couldn't follow. The brush was too thick, but the dog's nose seemed to end about 20 yards into the thick brush and brambles. We keep calling and calling. Finally, the dogs returned, and then took off again. Pretty soon, the dogs returned with tongues hanging out, breathing heavily. We leashed the dogs up and took them and led the horses back to the stream. The dogs settled down some, but the horses didn't. And as we were making an effort to saddle up again, this is when it happened. There came this howl that lengthened into a scream that at first sounded like a Brahma fart, low guttural and drug-out ending in a high-pitched drone like a woman screaming bloody murder. My body reacted with chill and goosebumps, mainly because the scream was coming from a very close. Somewhere in that thicket of briars, where the dogs had been, the scream was long and kind of dragged out. The kind of noise that gets your attention real fast. The half-breed yelled, "So, Yoko, Bigfoot."